This is for Year 11 methods. It comes out of the Chapter 1 SAC. Over the hot summer, Mr. Bonnever used a great deal of water to maintain his vegetables that he grows at a vacant block of land that he owns. When he receives his last water bill, he is shocked at how large the bill was. He has now decided that instead of using tap water, he will pump water from the underground river that runs below his land. To do this, he will need to drill a hole so as to pump out the water. So he's going to drill a hole down here and suck the water up through, and then the water is up here and he can easily use that water on his vegetables. Local council allows him to pump water as long as the water is only pumped directly from his property, so he can't drill like this and suck water from here up into his land. That's not allowed. The only problem is that neither Mr. Bonnever or his students know that the water is 15 metres below, so that's 15 metres below. So it's an exercise trial and error. Is 20 metres right, and you can assume at the base of the land. Okay, so we're going to have an axis, and that axis is going to run like this, where this here is 0, 0. So if that's 0, 0, write an equation to represent the top of the underground river. Well, here is the top of the underground river. So what would be the equation of a line that is horizontal and runs all the way across there? Keeping in mind, if that's 0, 0 and it's 15 metres down, that's negative 15. I think you should be able to come up with an equation which is y equals something which is a horizontal line running across at negative 15. Question 2. Sandra decides to drill in the middle of the two boundary fences. So from point A, the middle of the two boundary fences. Therefore, Sandra's drilling from here at point A. This point over here should be 20 and 0 because it's 20 metres across. If A is dead middle, you should be able to come up with the coordinate for point A. So that's all that is. And B, so B is the point here. Now, because B is where it touches the underground water, I don't know the x coordinate of B, but I do know the y coordinate is negative 15 and drills along this line. So if you make y equal negative 15 and solve for x, that should give you your x coordinate. Question number 3. Amy decides, this is Amy, she's drilling her hole this way. She decides to drill a hole 7 metres from the boundary. So where she starts drilling is at 7, 0. And she drills at this angle here. What's the gradient of Amy's drill line? Well, this is Amy's drill line, and Amy's drill line is on this angle. I know that the gradient is the tan of theta, and theta in this particular case is this angle. Find the equation that represents Amy's drill line. Well, you know what the gradient is. You got that from the previous answer. You know the point 7, 0, so you could use 7, 0 to come up with the equation. What's the coordinate where the drill line reaches the underground water? So what's the coordinate down here? You don't know the x coordinate, but you know the y coordinate is negative 15. And you know the equation from your answer to part B. Does Amy hit the water legally, that is, from inside Mr. Bonnever's house? Well, once you work out what the x value is, if it's over here, then it's illegal. If it's in here, then it is legal. How long is the water hole that Amy has made? How long is that line? There's a distance formula, d equals the square root of. You know 1.70. You know the second point. You can work out the distance. State the domain and range in the equation that represents Amy's water hole drill. You can work that out. Tamika decides to drill a hole 2 metres from the boundary from house 1. So Tamika is going to drill from here at 2. The hole that she makes can be represented by this equation. State the coordinate where Tamika hits water. Well, depending upon what Tamika's line is, it's going to be x and negative 15. You need to find the x coordinate. You know the equation. Set y equal to negative 15. What is the midpoint of her? And okay, you got to find the midpoint. You have a rule for the midpoint. Question number 5. Victoria and Pauline drill new holes in search of underground water. This is Victoria's drill hole. That's Pauline's drill hole. State the exact coordinates where each girl starts her drilling. So this is Victoria's. Then Victoria might be drilling like this. You need to find the coordinate of where Victoria starts drilling. And Pauline might be drilling like this. You need to find the coordinate of where Pauline starts drilling. For each of these you'll have separate answers, remembering that the y coordinate will be 0 for each of them. So make y 0 and solve for x, make y 0 and solve for x. What's the exact coordinate of the intersection point? You could use your calculator and put those two equations in and solve for x, y. Will these girls be able to drill these holes? Drill from these holes? Well, it depends upon whether they're below the waterline and also they're also within Mr. Bonavia's property. So you need to explore that answer for the intersection point to see whether it's correct or not. So I'm going to leave it there. How'd you go?